What's up, guys? Please go ahead and drop a like and comment on the video. Let me know what you guys think. Georgia is going to be one of the most, if not the most pivotal states in this upcoming election. A couple, two, three, or four states are probably going to decide this election with a few thousand votes. Looking at Pennsylvania, looking at North Carolina, definitely looking at Georgia for the purposes of this video. Um, and what's interesting is, if we sort of go back in time to the 2020 election, we know Georgia was the closest state of the states that we had that went for Biden in that election, going by just famously about 11,000 votes that unfortunately the Donald Trump and the Secretary of State were not able to find uh, in order to flip it back to Donald Trump. Um, in a couple of polls there, we had Joe Biden leading by 1.2 points going into election day here in the 538 average of polling. However, in the Real Clear Politics average of polling, you actually had Trump being ahead by 1 point on average, really statistically tied within the margin of error. And then on election day, of course, we had Joe Biden eking out a victory by zero point 0.3 percentage points. What's interesting is that actually, if you go ahead and kind of average together the average of the 538 polling with the Real Clear Politics polling, you kind of get your zero point 0.3 result. Now, I'm not going to say that is the strategy that's going to, get you the results moving forward, but I think the actual takeaway is that the polling for Georgia has been pretty spot on, at least in recent history. If you go to the 2022 Georgia Senate, again, you had a very, very close race all the way up until the end, and they did again have Herschel Walker with a 1.4 lead on average. And then Warnock, the Democratic candidate, came out and swung about 2.3 points in his direction, winning that race by almost a full percentage point. Now, today, who's ahead in Georgia? Donald Trump has just recently begun to pull ahead, especially if you go towards the Real Clear polling, which again has been seemingly overly exaggerating the leads for Trump. But that being said, he's breaking out to a 2.1 percentage lead on average. You could start to worry a bit if you are Kamala Harris. You really want to bring this a little bit closer, especially because now, even in the polling where you had Joe Biden ahead, there still was a swing in Trump's direction. And if you're looking at 538, that's what you are seeing now. You're sort of running out of room. Again, at least if you're looking at the previous trends, where you're running out of room to sort of find a way forward in Georgia. I know it's close, but it's you really want to bring this a little bit closer. You got to find some way to tap into some more of the voters. And I know we just had a poll here that was very favorable for Harris, but if you the recent polling on average is if that's what we're going to go off of, it's not looking particularly promising. The only thing you can hang your hat on if you are Kamala Harris is this idea that there is a swing, or there will be a swing of about 2 percentage points, which is what you are exactly going to need if you are Kamala Harris. You're going to need to swing this thing on election day in your favor um, to really bring this one ahead. It's going to be razor thin. Um, this is about as toss up as you can get. And I just wanted to sort of highlight for you guys the fact that it's going to be really difficult to predict what happens in Georgia. And really, Georgia could be the deciding factor in this election, because if you have a map like this where it is, polling is very close in Wisconsin, and there's typically a Trump surge on election day, very strongly that you could envision Wisconsin going to Trump. The border issue could be swinging it in terms of Arizona going back Republican, and Pennsylvania is very close as well. If you have a map that looks like this, then just flipping Georgia gives Trump the election, and that just about does it, as well as North Carolina, etc. You start trying to play with the map, and in a scenario like this is a very favorable map for Donald Trump, and this is the map that he desperately wants. He realistically could win Arizona, Wisconsin, hang on to North Carolina, scandal, and all, and then go ahead and win Georgia, and that is the ball game, right? So very, very pivotal stuff. What's going to happen in Georgia on election day? We don't know. We need more polling. We need to see what this is going to look like on election day. My general feeling for this is if this average gets under within that 2 percentage points, I am going to go ahead and say Kamala can definitely win Georgia. If it stays within that 2 to 3 point margin for Trump on average, that's going to look very, very good for him. So I still think we'll get a Democrat swing on election day, a surge, if you will, in the direction of Harris, but it has to be within that 2 points, I think, for her to get it. So those are my thoughts, sort of focusing in on Georgia for the moment. A smattering of polls and a little bit of history, recent history, for us to get our footing and sort of see where this is going to go. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.